It is that time for me. It's mammogram time. Hi, I'm Sherry from Twin Sisters Mastectomy Boutique, and I can't believe it's been 2 years since my mammogram. Does that sound about right? Anyway, here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, we can self-refer after, I think it's the age of 40, for our mammograms. And that's what I did. I was doing my self-examinations. I'm like, oh, something feels different. So I am going to take myself to the mammogram place. I've already booked an appointment. And in preparation, I have not worn any deodorant today, any powders, any lotions on my body, so that, of course I'm wearing makeup, but they're not going to mammogram my face, so that the machine can do what it needs to do unobstructed. And, you know, I was out with friends yesterday, and my friend is turning 45 and has never had a mammogram. And I'm like, you know what? You really need to get it done, because for no other reason, it's peace of mind. And if they do find something, well, then you're going to find it early, right? So it's a really good program that we, you know, nobody loves to go to a mammogram, but it is a really good service. It is a proactive service, and we really need to be utilizing it, because we know early detection saves lives. And, you know, what a privilege it is that we can take ourselves to get a mammogram, or even if you need a referral where you are, what a privilege it is to be able to get a mammogram, because in some places it's just not an option. You know, I had a friend a while back who was, or is, a physician, and they did mission trips, you know, to third world countries. And I said, oh, I've got all these breast prostheses to donate. You know, would you like to take them? And he said, Sherry, people die of breast cancer there. Nobody gets surgery, nobody gets mammograms, there's no treatment there for breast cancer. People don't survive. And that just hit me like a ton of bricks, because I realized how incredibly privileged we are to be living in a place where we can get treatment and we can be diagnosed. And the survival rate for breast cancer is really, really high. So I'm going to take myself to go get my mammogram, and let's monitor the next steps. Okay, just had my mammogram, and I'm not gonna lie, it was uncomfortable. It was probably the only time I've really felt a lot of discomfort during a mammogram, because she was putting the plates like really tight on my boobs. But I'm kind of thinking that means like more clear pictures, which I'm happy about. Not going to complain. And cumulatively, the discomfort lasted 30 seconds, like 15 seconds a boob. So nothing, right? It wasn't painful. It was like, uncomfortable, whatever. So 30 seconds, like seriously, you can manage 30 seconds. So it's going to take 2 business days to get the results back. Today is Thursday, so I probably won't hear till next week, which is totally fine. I'm sure everything's great. I'll share the results either way. And yeah, stay tuned. Okay, here I am for round 2 of my mammogram. They're going to re-mammogram my left side and do an ultrasound on my left side. So we'll see how that goes. And then they're going to, yeah. So my left mammogram and ultrasound is over. It didn't take too long. And it was very interesting because the technician showed me my original mammogram on the left side and the spot that they were concerned about. And she was very good. Like, I guess she has her spiel that she gives everybody, like, don't worry, it doesn't mean that it's anything, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so it was fine. I asked about the density of my breast, and apparently my density is C, which is not the most dense and not the most undense. But it's good to know. And I think in Ontario, they tell everybody now, or it's reported on the density of your breasts. I didn't see the report, but I asked. And my understanding is the more dense your breast is, the harder it is to detect breast cancer. So anyway, I'm not in the hard to detect category, I don't think. But today's a Friday, and it's gonna take 2 or 3 business days for my ultrasound and mammogram to be read and get back to my family doctor. And then I'm hoping for good results. but it's a very interesting process. And yeah, all I can do is wait. I'll keep you updated. Okay, so I looked it up, and breast tissue with a density categorized as C, like cat, is a mixture of fatty and dense tissue. It's not all fatty, it's not all dense, it's kind of somewhere in between, a mixture. So know your density of your breast, because if you have dense breasts, like very dense breasts, a mammogram might not be enough, because dense breasts, I'm not a doctor or nurse, but dense breasts make it more difficult to detect breast cancer. So there you go. Again, I'll keep you updated. It is a Sunday, which is why I have no makeup on. I'm right out of the shower, and I just got a call from my doctor's office. Yes, she works Sundays. I think she has a walk-in clinic on Sundays, so very hard-working woman. And the receptionist said, hey, the doctor would like to set up a phone meeting with you today. That can't be good. Up until this time, the last 2 weeks, I haven't really been concerned about my mammogram results. I knew it was a definite possibility that I had breast cancer, but it just didn't seem to consume my time at all. Up until that phone call today. And this phone call has given me, I don't know, it's like I'm two people here. So I have a logical brain. I know I'm not concerned about dying because breast cancer has a really high survival rate. But I am anxious. And I had a moment where I thought I was going to cry, which I'm surprised at. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised. I don't know. Mixed emotions. And here's my thing. I know this is going to sound so stupid. I don't have time for cancer. I know. Ridiculous, right? But I don't have time for cancer. I've got stuff going on. And I don't know. Why don't I wait and hear what she has to say? I have some questions written down that she probably can't answer at this point, like what stage cancer is it? What kind of breast cancer is it? Which is probably too soon. And it may be that she's just calling to say, hey, you need a biopsy, and we're just going to investigate. It may be nothing. Like, you know, but of course, that phone call is going to be anxiety provoking. So let's see what she has to say. And then we'll go from there. All right, I'll keep you posted. Just got a phone call from the doctor, and not what I was expecting. Everything is fine. She said it's benign, and they're just going to repeat the ultrasound and the mammogram in 6 months. I am kind of numb, certainly happy. Let me tell you, you're going to think I'm an idiot, but I have a very old dog who's probably in his last stages of life. My little Pepper, he's 16, and I was thinking, well, if I need surgery, I'm going to put it off till after Pepper crosses the Rainbow Bridge, because he's my priority. Stupid, but that's what I would do. I'm a little bit overwhelmed with the information. I was really prepared for bad news. I don't know what to say, except I'm really happy. I'm kind of speechless because I honestly didn't expect it to go this way. But yay me. And you might be wondering why I'm filming this whole journey, just because it's my way of coping. If I can focus on something else, then I didn't have to focus on all the tests being done and what that might mean. Wow, my head's spinning. So it is the next day, it is Monday, and I'm at work. And the last clip that we saw, you know, I got the good news that I don't have breast cancer, but I didn't seem very happy. And I think it was just that I was overwhelmed because I was convinced, you know, that I had cancer. Like, why would your doctor call you on a Sunday? But I'm grateful that she did, because, you know, she didn't want to make me wait any longer. So I appreciate that. And I was just so shocked because I had actually started to think like, okay, who do I want my surgeon to be? And, you know, maybe I should start looking into wigs, and, you know, all these things run through your mind. And then, you know, how am I going to fit this in my schedule? Who do I tell? You know, all this stuff. So super grateful that I'm healthy. I have to do a follow-up in 6 months to have another mammogram and ultrasound. And, you know, I made these little video documentations just for myself, really, just to kind of distract me. And, you know, I wasn't even sure whether to post this or not. If it was an outcome with breast cancer as the result, you know, would I post it? Because there's people I want to tell individually, and certainly my clients I would tell, but my family I would pick and choose, friends, and, you know, and so I probably would have posted it, you know, post-surgery, after the surgery. I thought about this for like 2 weeks. Being that it's a positive outcome, I thought, oh, well, should I even post this? Because I don't want to be like, I don't know, rubbing it in that I got a good outcome, but I don't think that's realistic either. Because it was such a roller coaster of a journey, it's important to get your mammogram, because the sooner you find out, the better. You know, early detection saves lives. And in my case, I found out that I was healthy, which is also really important. And they're monitoring. So thank you for coming with me on this journey. It certainly took twists and turns that I did not expect. But thank goodness for the diligent healthcare team that, you know, took the time to make sure I'm good and healthy. And yeah, so let me know, have you had your mammogram? When was the last time you had a mammogram? And what, you know, what stops you from having a mammogram? Like, do you put it off, and what stops you? Or what encourages you to go get it? Thank you for coming on my journey. Please like and subscribe. We really appreciate your support, and we'll see you soon.